Welcome to the second episode of the podcast where truth, rhythm, and rebellion collide. Northstrong, Unsanctioned. I am your host, Magnus Graves. Unfortunately, Maverick Northstrong won't be here with us tonight due to some very personal stuff he's been dealing with. And if you're tuning in for the first time, buckle up. We don't pull punches here. Last episode, we kicked things off with the launch of Northstrong Beats Volume 2, an all-original album created by my colleague Maverick Northstrong, and we thank everyone who supported the premiere broadcast of Northstrong Unsanctioned. Tonight, we're tackling something that cuts deep, the sting of unrequited gestures, but at the end of it all, rejection. Yeah, that's a mouthful. But if you've ever poured your heart into grand gestures, surprise trips, handwritten letters, gifts, even the whole 9 yards, so to speak, only to get hit with a thanks, but no thanks. Please stop. You know exactly what we're talking about. It's that gut punch moment when vulnerability meets the cold shoulder. We're gonna unpack the why, the how it hurts, and maybe even how to rise from the ashes. Let's get into it. All right, let's set the scene. Picture this. You've been crushing hard on someone. Maybe it's a friend who's been giving mixed signals, or that coworker who's got you daydreaming during meetings. You decide to go all in, not with some half-assed text, but with real gestures. You plan a picnic under the stars, complete with their favorite snacks and a playlist of songs that scream, "I see you." Or you craft a custom piece of art that captures a shared memory. It's honest, it's you, and it's a feeling of bravery, but then crickets. Or worse, the polite rejection, "That's sweet, but I don't feel the same." Boom. Rejection detonates like a bomb in your chest. Why does it hurt so damn much? Let's break it down. First off, gestures aren't just actions. They're extensions of your soul. When you express love that way, you're saying, "This is me, raw and real, psychologically speaking." And yeah, I've been down this rabbit hole. It's tied to something called vulnerability hangover. You put yourself out there, exposing your hopes, and when it's not reciprocated, it's like your brain's reward system short circuits. Dopamine drops, cortisol spikes, and suddenly you're in emotional freefall. It's not just heartbreak, it's a betrayal of your own effort. Before we continue, I'd like to play a back-to-back original composition by our very own Maverick Northstrong entitled "Ashes of Me and You and Whisper and Goodbye," only here on the podcast where truth, rhythm, and rebellion collide. Northstrong Unsanctioned.
I remember the summer, the fire in your eyes, when every sunrise felt like we were learning how to fly. But somewhere in the night, the truth began to crawl, and the whispers in the dark became the writing on the wall. You said love don't fade, but yours slipped away, and I'm still standing in the echo of the things you didn't say. Now I see you in the shadows of the life we knew, and it cuts me like a heartbeat falling out of tune. Yeah, I loved you like a wildfire burning through, but the flames died down, and I'm just staring at the ashes of me and you. was a night by the river. You swore it'd always be us, but your promises cracked under the weight of broken trust. You found another dream somewhere I couldn't follow, left me drowning in the songs that still taste like tomorrow. I thought love was strong, turns out I was wrong, and every step I take alone still feels like we don't belong. Now I see you in the shadows of the life we knew, and it cuts me like a heartbeat falling out of tune. Yeah, I loved you like a wildfire burning through, but the flames died down, and I'm just staring at the ashes of me and you. Maybe love ain't meant to last, maybe it just leaves a scar, but every time I see your face, it reminds me who we are. I don't want you back, but it still hurts. Yeah, it still hurts. 'Cause I see you in the shadows of the life we knew, and it hits me like thunder breaking through the blue. I survived the fire, but the memory of you still flickers in the dark, where the truth is cold and the heart stays bruised. Shadows of you, shadows of you. Shadows of you. Shadows of you. Shadows of you. I sit in shadows where your light can't see. Words are a storm locked inside of me. Every glance you give cuts deep, too deep to flee. Do I hold on to this quiet ache, or let the silence break? Tell me, do I let it go? Do I let this feeling die? Or do I let you know that dances like a fragile flame. It warms the cold but leaves me the same. The closer I get, the harder it is to remain. Or do I speak or stay restrained? Either way, I'm changed. Tell me, do I let it go? Do I let this feeling die? Or do I let you know, though it might tear us both inside? Caught between a whisper and goodbye. Every time our eyes align, I'm searching for a hidden sign. But once the words are in the air, there's no going back to who we were. Is the gamble worth the fall? Or do I lose it all? Tell me, do I let it go? Do I let this feeling die? Or do I let you know, though it might tear us both inside? Caught between a whisper and goodbye. So I'll swallow the truth and smile as you pass by. Will I choose the silence over the goodbye? Just a whisper, goodbye.
And that was Ashes of Me and You, and Whisper and Goodbye. Both are Maverick Northstrong original compositions. So let's get back to the topic. I remember my own story. Keep it unsanctioned, right? Several years ago, I was head over heels for this girl. I didn't just say I like you. I built her a custom bookshelf because she loved collecting vintage books. Spent weeks on it, sanding it down, staining it with her favorite shade of blue. Delivered it with a note, a place for all the stories we'll write together. Her response? Wow, that's thoughtful. But I'm seeing someone. Oops. The hurt wasn't just the rejection. It was the echo of all that time and heart I invested, now feeling like waste. Anyone else been on that predicament? Now, why do we do it? Gestures feel safer than words sometimes. They're tangible proof of affection without the awkward "I love you" bomb. But here's the flip. They amplify the rejection because they're so personal. A no to your gesture feels like a no to your essence. And society? It romanticizes this stuff. Think rom-coms where the grand gesture wins the day. Reality check. Not everyone wants to be won over. Consent, boundaries, they matter more than any Hollywood script. Before we go further, we'll have another breather right here. I'll be playing this spoken word poetry written by Maverick Northstrong entitled This Is My End. And you are still listening to the podcast where truth, rhythm, and rebellion collide. Northstrong Unsanctioned.
I should have known when you asked me to stop. I didn't know that love could sound like noise to someone who just wanted quiet. I thought affection was proof that if I showed you enough of it, you'd see I was safe, that I was serious, that I meant you no harm. But you said, please stop. And you didn't say it in a cruel way, that's the part that broke me. You said it gently, like you were apologizing for something I did with my heart. I didn't mean to aim my feelings at you like they were harmless. I didn't mean to set my sights on you so steady, so sure, like love was something I was allowed to insist on. When you pulled away, I stayed standing there, still holding everything I meant to show you and prove myself to you with nowhere to put it. Do you know what that does to a man? It makes the room feel smaller, it makes the nights louder, it makes every breath feel like a question, but nobody is answering. I started wondering if my love was a flaw, if my heart was too much, if I was too much, and once that thought settles in, it doesn't stop there. It asks dangerous things. Like, what if disappearing is easier than learning how to exist without you? I have those thoughts and they sat with me late, quiet, convincing. I never wanted to scare you, never wanted to cage you. I only wanted to be chosen without having to shrink first. So when you asked me to stop loving you that way, I did, and now stopping feels suffocating when love was the only thing keeping you upright. I just don't want to continue and wake up no more, and everything feels optional. Living, trying, explaining myself to a world who doesn't know I am about to let the silence win. If I ever go quiet, please understand it was never punishment, it was never anger. It was me trying to survive a heart that didn't know how to beat without loving you. This is my end. And if sorry had a voice, it would sound like this. Tired, cracked, still loving you, even when it hurts, just to stay.
And that was This Is My End, a spoken word poetry written by Maverick Northstrong. Let's continue with our discussion. How do we navigate the aftermath? Step 1. Feel the hurt. Don't bottle it. That's how resentment brews. Cry. Write a journal. Blast some angry anthems. Step 2. Reframe it. That gesture wasn't a failure. It was proof of your capacity to love big. The right person will match that energy. Step 3. Learn the signs. Next time, test the waters with smaller vibes before going full gesture mode. And how about self-love gestures? Turn that energy inward. Build yourself a bookshelf, metaphorically speaking. If you're listening and this hits home, remember, rejection isn't a reflection of your worth. It's just a redirect. You've got the strength to keep expressing, unsanctioned and unapologetic. That's a wrap for me on this second episode of Northstrong Unsanctioned. If you've got stories of gesture gone wrong or right, drop them in the comments section. On behalf of Maverick Northstrong, I am Magnus Graves. See you again next week here via the Northstrong Frequency YouTube channel, broadcasting from the edge of culture, where truth, rhythm, and rebellion collide. When the world resets, Northstrong goes unsanctioned. Good night.
I stand here with nothing but my voice. But even a voice, when sharpened by truth, can cut deeper than any weapon ever forged in the dark. Because the people trying to break me, they come like shadows, not the poetic kind, not the comforting silhouette at dusk, but the cowardly ones that only appear when the light isn't watching. They whisper behind curtains, fabricating versions of me that even fiction would reject. And then they march toward my friendship, a bond they never built, yet somehow think they can tear down. But I'm not here to rhyme with their rumors, I'm here to unravel them, one by one. Shadow, rumor, echo, fable, names I give them, not because they deserve identity, but because they deserve to be defined for what they truly are. Shadow fades the moment truth steps into the doorway. Rumor dies the moment facts begin to breathe. Echo repeats only because it has nothing new to say. And fable was never real, not even from the start. They tried to fire words at me like bullets, but they forgot I don't fear ammunition that's been stuffed with nothing but air. Meanwhile, I carried no gun, only a pen, but I learned long ago that a pen, when held with conviction, is a ballistic instrument, and every truth written is a precise shot to the lies you aim at me. Because what they say about me breaks nothing, builds nothing, changes nothing. It just returns to them like a bullet that ricochets back toward the barrel that fired it. And as they scramble to fabricate more stories, stories stitched with envy, stories dipping their hands into the ink of insecurity, I stand with a silence that weighs more than their noise ever could. They aim at my connection with her, this friend I value, this person they think is fragile enough to be swayed by their poison. But friendship built on truth does not crumble under gossip built on air. So I speak now, not to them, but to anyone who's ever been targeted for simply being real. Let my words be a reminder. You cannot destroy what you cannot reach. You cannot break what you did not build. You cannot stain what refuses to absorb your dirt. And you will never rise by wishing for someone else to fall. So let them talk, let them craft their shadows and rehearse their rumors. Let them echo emptiness and recite their fables. Because when the truth finally steps forward, and it always does, every weapon pointed at me will lower, every lie will disintegrate, and every false narrative will collapse under the weight of its own weakness. And all that'll remain is this: my voice, my integrity, my friendship, my truth. Unbroken, unshaken, untouched by anything they ever tried to fire at me. Fire at me.
I didn't walk into your life looking for a destiny to worship or a prophecy to fulfill. I walked in carrying nothing but a bruised heartbeat and a tired promise to myself that I was done believing in people who speak of loyalty like it's a language they never planned to learn. But then you, quiet, steady, unexpected, stood there, not as a miracle, not as a myth, but as a reason I started trusting footsteps again. And now I stand here, not because I'm trying to be a hero, not because I'm chasing some dramatic storyline, but because you became the one person I refused to lose. To rumors, to whispers, to people who choke on their own jealousy and call it concern. Listen, I'm tired of watching shadows pretend they know my heart better than I do. I'm tired of seeing people rewrite my intentions like they own the pen that authors my name. They throw dirt at me just to see who believes it. They twist my words as if breaking me will magically fix their insecurities. They keep asking why I stay beside you, why I choose you again and again, despite the noise, the claws, the poison disguised as friendly advice. And I answer them without hesitation, because she never asked me to prove myself, because she saw me even when I felt transparent, because in a world full of temporary people, she stayed. So now hear me clearly, hear me without distortion, without filters, without the lies other people try to stitch into my skin.
I will not leave her side.
Not when the world gets loud, not when the atmosphere gets heavy, not when people start inventing stories just to feel relevant in our silence. I will stand beside her, even when it's inconvenient, even when it's messy, even when loyalty becomes something that scares the weak-hearted, because loyalty is not a word I say, it's a choice I make. Every single time someone tries to turn her against me, and I know there will be days when they will tell her I'm not worth the trust, days when they will plant doubts and water them with their own bitterness, days when they will disguise their envy as protection. Let them waste their breath on stories she already knows aren't mine. Let them keep aiming at my character. I've survived worse from people who mattered more and hurt less. But as long as she's here, as long as she's choosing to walk with me, as long as her name sits gently on the softer parts of my loyalty, I will not move, I will not fold, I will not retreat. I will stay on her side, whether the world claps or turns its back, whether people cheer or choke on their own shadows, because she is not just a friend, she is the chapter I refuse to lose to the hands of people who were never meant to be part of the story in the first place. So carve this into the air so even the ones watching from the sidelines won't dare forget it. I am here, I am staying, and no rumor, no jealousy, no sabotage, no whispered poison will ever make me walk away from the one person who never walked away from